RV refrigerator. It works on electricity and propane, or one or the other. If we put it into automatic mode, we're plugged in right now, so it's turned on and it's using electricity. It has a cool setting. I usually jack it up for the first hour or two to get it cold. Make sure you back it off a little bit, because if you leave it on 5, you will eventually start freezing stuff on these upper shelves up here too. It gets that cold. You have a separate ice box. If it's in the auto mode and the campground or wherever you are loses power, it will automatically switch to gas. It will sense the loss of power, and as long as your propane bottles are on, it'll switch over and use gas.
Oh, good.
When the power comes back, it'll switch back to power again. So you never, in theory, will ever lose your groceries. That's the idea behind it. There's always a way to use it. If you're using a generator and this is plugged into a generator, it's going to use the generator power. If you want to force it for some reason so it doesn't use electricity, you can force it to only run on gas if you want to. And that would just use propane instead. It still needs 12 volts to think or use its computer brain. So even on propane, it still needs 12 volts to function. It's using the 110 of the propane to cool with, because these refrigerators have to make heat to make cold. That's how they work. It's a gravity-fed refrigerator. There are no moving parts in this. There are no pumps or compressors in this, like the one you can hear running when your fridge at home runs. This has to be level to work properly. If this is sitting cockeyed on the side of the hill, it will not cool. It's not designed that way. It's got to be level because it has to flow the ammonia through the tubes on the back of this thing to create vapor, and then the vapor and condensation is what actually, it's not putting cold in, it pulls the heat out of it, is how these work. Yeah, same idea. So, and I don't mean a wee bit out of level, it's still going to work fine, but if it's parked sideways on a hill, it's not going to work. It'll turn on, but it won't get cold. Okay? So for it to work properly, we've got to be fairly level. Now, when you change the gas bottles or do whatever, you may incorporate air into the lines, and it may not light on gas right away. All gas appliances try 3 times to light. If they fail to light, they shut themselves off as a safety feature. Turn them off, turn them back on again, resets them. Generally, it's because you've changed bottles and you've incorporated air into the line, and you just got to bleed that air out. Easy way to bleed it out is right on the stove, because it's the easiest to turn on and light. Once you've got blue flames there, you're pretty much flowing it through the whole system. If this tries 3 times to light on gas and fails, that's going to start flashing, saying, hey, we never lit, something's wrong. Generally, you forgot to turn the gas on. That's what most people forget to do. If it starts flashing, shut it off, figure out what's going on, turn your bottles on, and turn it back on again. It'll give it 3 more tries. It may take 2 or 3 sets if we have air in the lines. Normally, though, like I said, this has already been tested, so as you can see, it just fires up and stays on. Because I've already got gas in the lines.
How do you stop air getting in the lines?
There's no way to stop that. Every time you take the bottle off to fill it, you're putting air in the lines. It's normal for propane systems. That's just the way it is. But 99% of the time, you're going to be just putting it on auto and let it do the thinking. Because you're probably going to be plugged in or on a generator, one or the other. And just let it do its thinking, and then if you need the propane, it's there if you need it. If you want to drive down the road, a 10, 12-hour trip down to South Carolina, and you're running this in the hot August all day down the road, got to keep the food closed, run it on gas going down the road, perfectly fine.
Oh, nice.
You've got a 12-volt battery for it to think with. Leave your propane on. The truck's charging that battery because it's plugged into it.
That's good to
This
know.
thing will run all day long going down the road. Perfectly fine.
Good.
That's why they design it like that, is so you can have the cold running all the time. Most people plug this in the night before they leave, get it cold, put the cold groceries in it, close the door, and go. It's good for 3 or 4 hours anyways. Think of it as an ice box. But if you had to run it for 10 or 12 hours on a hot July or August day, you've got to run it.
Right.
So but it can be run going down the road with the propane. That's perfectly fine. More storage up there, your AC unit up there, your